Okay, so contrary to the clickbait title and thumbnail, Black 2 Kaizo Plus is not already ending. In fact, I just wanted to talk about it in this video. So I have a few points that I'm going to go over. We have just a few questions that, maybe you'd want to know about the pros and cons of the original game, and then what I plan to do, fix the cons, increase the pros, whatever, like my balance philosophy, why I'm keeping it doubles, and then certain balancing things. And then I have some updates at the end, so let's get into it. Okay, so question 1. What is Black 2 Kaizo? Well, Black 2 Kaizo, or B2K for short, is a ROM hack of Pokemon Black 2 made by Sasyata in 2022. The special thing about B2K is that every battle is a double battle. Every trainer, gym leader, Elite Four member is a double battle. This made the game very polarizing, with some really enjoying it and others hating it. Sas's philosophy when designing the game was, I wanted to make a difficult all-doubles game that would require players to move outside of their comfort zone of the one-dimensionality of single battles, and force players to use different strategies to approach creative fights. Second question is, why Black 2 Kaizo Plus? Because when I played the original B2K, I felt it had major potential, but it flopped in certain areas that I felt easy to fix. I also wanted to get into ROM hacking, and I wanted an approachable project to start with, and this seemed like the best option because I already had tons of ideas from when I was playing through the game, and I didn't need to fully remake a game. Some pros and cons I have. We'll start with pros. So I thought it was unique. No other game other than, I guess, VGC Platinum and the Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness, whatever, are all double battles. So I thought that was pretty darn unique. And some of the fights were very interesting. Made you really use your brain to think through and use all your resources that you had. And I also thought it was a good length. It didn't feel like overly long, but it definitely felt you had some sort of accomplishment because you have spent time on an attempt and you really wanted it to win. Another pro is that Sauce came up with the idea of trainers guarding very important items. Like the U-turn TM is guarded by a random trainer, which of course is very, very important to get. And it makes you think, like, can I afford to get that now? I mean, I can get it now, but can I afford to? Do I really need to? And you can always come back later when the trainer is easier and you have a higher level cap, which I am planning to lean in on. The last pro I've written down here is that there's a clear meta of encounters. Because no stats were changed and no types were changed, there's very reminiscent Game Freak balancing tier list here. Salamence, all the legendaries, of course Pseudos. I don't know why I named Salamence by itself, but it's very, very good with Moxie and Intimidate. And so there's just a clear tier list. So you can already, when you go into the game, you already have an idea of what's good and what isn't. Now I have the cons. There are actually a lot of cons about this game. I would not call it a good game. It's fun, but it's not good in the sense that you can play it and enjoy it all the way through. You have to be kind of a little crazy to enjoy it all the way through. And part of the reason is because vanilla movesets. That's the biggest problem with this game, is that you are stuck with Game Freak's horrible choices when it comes to having movesets. For example, Kabutops has absolutely trash moves. I think its best stab move is Waterfall and Rock Slide, which is just unacceptable. It's horrible to you get hyped from an encounter and then all of a sudden you're just really upset because it has horrible moves. And then my second con is that there was a really unbalanced early game. Sharon was so hard, so hard without specific encounters, that to the point of being unfun and then just turning a major amounts of people away. It's not good. That's not good balancing. And so I'm obviously gonna get into that later on how I help that. Then we have weird difficulty scaling. I thought the beginning of the game was super hard, then Roxy was not very hard, and then Berg was also not very hard, and then Alisa was, kind of hard, then Clay was very hard, and then Skyla was kind of mid difficulty. It wasn't that bad. Oh yeah, Drayden. Drayden was probably the second hardest trainer in the game, to the point where unless you have specific encounters, you're taking a death. Because, I mean, just look at this team. Like Dragon Gem Latios, Ice Gem Sheer Cold being Ice type Draco Meteor. From a Kyurem White, like really? Oh. And then Marlin was so easy, man. And then Victory Road was hard, like really hard. And then the Elite Four was absolutely just no. But I think that's good. I think the Elite Four is good. Maybe I'll change my mind on that. Overall, I think it's just a little unbalanced, especially in the early stages. Making Berg a little harder, I think, will help, and just balancing the encounter to make it so that you don't just gain so much momentum will be pretty cool, I think. The next con is move reminders. This is like such a pet peeve of mine of this game. Like, why do I get a Mudkip on the route next to Elisa, then I have to bring it through Elisa and past Clay without any ground type moves? Because there's no move reminder until PWT, which is just bad when you're thinking, oh, I'm level 50 by the time I get to PWT, which means that you're gonna go through like almost your entire learn set. And so when you catch wild encounters from like especially the Drift Bell, Drawbridge, I don't know the route next to Clay, you just have horrible moves and then you can't do anything about it other than TMs. That'll definitely be addressed in B2K+. And then we have rushed late game. The late game was admittedly rushed by Sauce to just get the game out, and that just became the game. The pro players in Victory Road could be done a lot more polished, and just any small amount of post game would be cool. And it just didn't really feel fleshed out in the end. It felt like you beat Marlin, then you beat Cynthia, you beat the Victory Road, and then you beat Elite Four. Like, there was not many battles in the Elite Four, or I mean, there wasn't many battles in Victory Road. The Elite Four was just what you were focusing on, which, you know, could be fine, but Kaizo games are you're meant to like each part be memorable, right? So I don't know. I'll definitely see what I can do about the late game and any other places that I feel were rushed. Okay, so on to what I plan to do in Black 2 Kaizo Plus. So let me just get my balance philosophy out of the way. My balance philosophy is pretty similar to Sauce and what my aim for the game is to be. You know, a hard game that requires you to think creatively. What my actual philosophy that you might be interested in is my change philosophy. So I want to keep things at a similar or higher level of difficulty, try not to go lower, as the original game. And I also want to stay faithful while not changing stats and typing of Pokemon like the original does, just because I think that would feel weird if you played the original game and then all of a sudden everything has custom type and stat changes. And the main ideas of the changes will be to increase the quality of life, balance, and overall quality of the game. Make it more polished, make it more fun to play, and make it more balanced. So just a list of what I have planned to do. Make custom learn sets for every Pokemon. Add a mover learner to basically every PC. Do early and mid-game rebalancing. Change encounter tables. Add self-insert trainers to Victory Road in the Forest for post-game. Rebalance some Mon's abilities. Change some Marts. Get rid of BP items. Give more unique items behind optionals. And make a fully custom art and trailer. So now onto why I'm keeping it doubles. Here's a topic that is for whatever reason brought up a lot for this game. This game's a doubles only hack, meaning the entire game was built around it being a doubles hack. Changing this defeats the entire point and removes most of the unique qualities about this hack. I see a lot of comments on the B2K trailer and the announcement trailer asking for a singles version. I will say now there will be no singles version ever. Period. If you want a singles only game, I'd play literally any other hack. I'm sure you'll find something that you like. Now, a reason for this is that making a singles version requires tons of work. It remaking most learn sets and trainers, which will take months to do well. And ask now to not insult this game because it has made this choice. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's 100% bad. So please, when you talk about this game, share your opinion in a thoughtful way. Don't just call it bad because you don't like doubles. I'm all ears for constructive feedback. Okay, now on to some more relevant stuff to the game. How do I plan to make the early game less encounter dependent? Now this is a big question that I think a lot of people will be happy when it happens. So my plans currently are just revamping the Lost Learn Forest encounter that some of you don't even know exists to be a Hoenn starter, 33% chance for each one, and you'll get them for Sharon. I think that'll help, and also just moveset rebalancing in general. Each Hoenn starter will have a fighting type move for Sharon, so hopefully that helps. And starter rebalancing will happen. And also just, I'll be revamping some encounter tables. That will also help. How will I rebalance trainers that need work? Trainers are an interesting case in my effort to balance this game because I don't want to completely remake trainers. And I also don't want to keep every trainer the same. My effort will be to scan for trainers that have obvious flaws in design and fix them. As an example, Morty on Route 13 has a team of 6 Pokemon, but 2 of those are just Golurk with normal Gem Explosion. I think this isn't a very good choice because it just trivializes the fight. That's the sort of stuff I'll be changing. Okay, now on to some, relevant current updates for the project. I'm in the learn set stage right now, making custom learn sets for every Pokemon, and I'm up to Vileplume on the decks that I have selected. And that means that there will be a limited dex, but it won't be that limited. But it will include every Gen 5 Pokemon. This is the process that will take the most time, so we should see major progress after this. I am planning on releasing demos for each split, and the order that I'm planning on releasing them is Sharon split, up to Berg, up to Clay, up to Drayden, before Victory Road, and up to Hall of Fame. This way I can get more people playing on release, maintain hype, and also have a better sense of balancing on full release. So if you'd like to play this game or give feedback or even suggestions on ideas, join the Discord in the description. If there are any questions, please ask in the comments or on Discord. I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Bye.